Just to help people out, I thought I'd make a brief video on how to derive a brief message, turn this into your own personal item, and earn some profits in the process. So first you want to do is go down to the bottom of the page and look for Derive from Product. We're right down here. You should load it up inside of your editor. I think you need VIP access now to do deriving. So you should probably bear that in mind. Space this a little so you can see all the sides of the windows. Okay, now to start with, the item is hidden. That's because by default it is the action it takes. You can change its default action though to do anything. If you go to stance.idle right here under the what is this? The assemblies under actions, and change this animation in skeleton to, I don't know, let's say shake. And then change the morph animation to expand. Expand is the basic animation you'll use in order to make the ring visible. Applying this change means that that'll play. Now what you also want to make sure to do is to make sure your loops right here are both set to 0, or like you'll see, it'll just disappear. Apply that change. There we go. Now by default, the ring will always be visible and the ring will always be shaking, which is actually kind of annoying. How about a slow spin instead? Oh, classy. Now, you probably don't want it to scroll upwards like this. That scrolling thing is just a motion I set up under the Materials tab, or Meshes tab, and then under Materials and Texture Animation. So we click on this one to turn it off, and there we go. It is no longer scrolling upwards. Of course, you know, maybe you want to scroll upwards. Maybe you want it to scroll upwards really fast. You could do that. Could be interesting for a smoke effect, maybe. Also, you could make it race around the edges faster. I wouldn't suggest doing this because you can already control that under actions. But let's say you want it to the message to go around really fast. Oops, that's the wrong direction. It's actually fighting itself now. Let's see. There we go. I think I can actually get this number up past 12, like 78. Okay, that is flippin' absurd. But you can do it. You can do that if you want to do that. Let's just turn that off so I don't go insane. And of course, any of these animations here, I think you could pretty much remove all of them. Well, except for the stance idle, you should keep that one. Let's see. And yeah, all the animations stay put. So you can remove all of these, add them back one by one with your own custom commands. There's a really great command, a bunch of gibberish. And then just pick an animation from this list and an animation from this list. Apply changes, and now this command will do this. Of course, every single time you do this, you want to make sure to add infinite loops. And that way, it'll continually do it until the user tells them to stop. Another animation you probably will also want to keep is, of course, a stop animation. Let's see. So if we go to stop moving and shrunk, and set both of those to 0, boom. They have an animation that stops the ring from appearing at all. And the ring won't appear again until another animation calls it up. See, isn't that fun? Super easy to do. Now let's do a little something about the texturing. Here's the wireframe for the brief message. So let's see. I'll do a little new layer on this one. You're going to want to definitely do this in layers in whatever program you're using. Ooh, I know, you can do smiley faces. So, as a smiley face. Nice little round circle. A little shading because a round circle is a bit boring. Oop, not dissolve. Let's put the brush back on normal. Ooh, harsh. Too much. We'll put the pressure down at a little low 14%, and we'll do it like this. See, a nice little sphere going on there. Maybe a little dot of light. Shine it up a little bit. Okay. Because this is kind of difficult to do, I'm going to go ahead and do this on another layer to give our little happy face some eyeballs. And I'll duplicate that layer because that's a cool thing to do. All the cool kids duplicate their layers. I'm going to kind of give them a little raggedy smiley face. I could do better, but this is just a demonstration, so fudge it. Press this down into that. There we go. Nice singular layer. And I'll just go ahead and duplicate this little buddy. Maybe shrink him down so it looks kind of like something else. We'll give him a little rotation. And we'll put another one right back over here. I'm not doing this for any meaningful reason, I just kind of think it's funny. Maybe another one over here. We're going to make him real tiny. I'm going to rotate this little guy right over there. Oh, he's shrinking away. He's shrinking away. I'm putting a lot of work into this. Considering the fact I'm just trying to show you the basics. Okay, so I'll condense all this down into a singular layer. Now what you do is you duplicate the layer, preserve the transparencies on your duplicated layer, and paint the second layer all white. We'll add another layer, and we'll make this layer all black. Move that layer behind that layer, and boom! What you have there is an opacity map. This is a black and white outline of what the image should be, because this is the original image. This is the white parts. The white parts will be solid. The black parts will disappear. So the black parts will take away all this grid in the background. Boom. Let's see. Save a copy of this as a JPEG, because JPEGs are what you're working in. Smileys. Ooh. Oh, you know what? Let's save that as Smiley's opacity. Much better. And then we save this one as Smiley's non-opacity. Now, another thing you want to do is add one more layer underneath all the rest of this that represents a basic background color. Otherwise, you could have like a weird gray outline, which could be very unappealing. So we'll take this color, because that seems like a nice background color, slap that in there, see? This way, right around the edges, all you'll see is the same colors on the rest of it. Now we'll save a copy of this one in a JPEG. Yep, replace Smileys. Okay, back to the editor. I go into Materials, go to Texture. Oh, one important thing. IMVU can do this automatically, but you probably don't want it to, because it's kind of hit or miss. What you want to do is make sure these are all, let's see, 512 across and 128. Excuse me. Basically the power of 2 in each one of these measurements. It's 512, 128, 256 is another one, 64. If you're familiar with binary, these are normal numbers for you. And shrink this one down as well so they match. They always need to match, or you could have problems. Yep. Ah, don't do that. Yes. Okay. We'll go into the editor and load up our new images. I have a lot of files here. Now what you don't need to worry about is making this two-sided or self-illuminated or all the rest of that, because there's already two-sided stuff going on here. Boom. There we go. Smiley faces. You can see that whatever's on the front is going to be mirrored on the back. So if it's text, the text is going to be backwards on the inside of the cylinder. And on the outside, it'll, of course, be forward. And this is repeated 4 times. So there's basically 4 sections you need to think about. Here's our new animation. Pointlessly playing. Let's see. Fast spin. Let's put the jump on here and see what that does. I'll play animations. And now our smiley faces jump whenever this command is used. So anyways, you save your work. You go to upload in here in the corner. You're going to need to make yourself a 100 wide by 80 high image that represents this. You usually can do that with print screen, take a screenshot, and then shrink it down, and you get a little picture of your thing. Create a name, give it a rating, hopefully G-rated, because that's where you're going to make the most profits. And you need to increase your price by a little bit. So whatever you feel like making. Bear in mind, the market for credits is a little so. You probably shouldn't put your profit too high, or you might price yourself out of the market. Or if you're just selling to your friends, make the profit outrageous. And keep it all. Don't let anybody have a copy. Also, don't make your product derivable, because that really messes up other people. Submit it, and there you go. A brand new product. So, give it a shot. It's a lot of fun. Add some sound effects. They are totally awesome. And I never add them myself because it's something easy you can do to make an instantly cool product yourself. So, have at ya. Later, folks.